Ooh.
Welcome to Hey Girl.
Hey, girl.
Oh my God.
I'm drinking a sour beer from Rogue.
Oh yeah.
I'm drinking Northwest beers.
You're hiding out. You're hiding out in sweet, sweet Oregon.
Just up here drinking flavorful beers, not IPAs. I hate that stuff.
I know.
It tastes like wet dog farts. But
I like wet dog farts. I got strange tastes.
I truly think that most craft beer is Stockholm syndrome.
I mean, I would agree with some of that. I've tasted some that I'm like, yeah, this tastes like it went through a wet pirate's boot. And they're just like, no, you just don't know the nuance. And like, let's stop. We're all drinking poison.
Yeah, I feel like ordering a Bud Light at a bar up here. It'd be like being a Trump supporter at a Tracy Chapman concert.
Yes, but if you ordered a Pabst Blue Ribbon, they'd be like, "Yeah, good job." It's like probably same owners, I'd imagine. This is a margarita with like just probably like 10 limes.
Yeah,
I just took a sip and was like, "Feel good though."
It's good. It exfoliates or something.
Kyle, are you in a bed or are you in a? Do you have a headboard on the floor?
It's a bed frame that's on the floor of the house that we're staying in.
Let me see it again.
It's like
it's the illusion of.
it's like pretending. It's like pretending you're sailing because you're in a boat that's on a trailer. You know. It's.
I've always liked your style.
We got limited areas. We're up at a different house up here we're in Beaverton, Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
And man, you put me back in the suburbs. I sit right in, just standing in Costco with my hand up my ass, confused with a list, just like
Oh, Costco's a nightmare. I love it. It's a beautiful nightmare. It's my favorite store now.
But is it? Like now you're into it?
I've always kind of loved Costco, but now it's kind of like, oh, yeah, all right. So, I have a pregnant wife and I'm still, within reason actively drinking.
Pickles.
The deals. I got a nice box of white wine in the fridge. Costco's awesome.
I was the Cab Sauv, the tower, the 3-liter tower. Man,
no.
That's been taking the edge off of me every night for the past 5 days.
That's me earlier in the week. Kind of just go in the fridge. Tough day.
I got that thing. I love that you had to like distend its own spout out of the box.
Yes, you got to do a whole half umbilical cord thing.
I mean, and there's no new like Costco bits out there, but having not been and getting caught in the arms race of like, well, if I have this much mustard, I need to get this many hot dogs to make the use of the mustard, but I can only get this, but then I can get this. And I got so overwhelmed.
That's the thing I never got about those jokes too, where it's like, how far have we fallen as a society where everything's in giant buck? It's like, that's why it's cheap, right? And they pay their employees well, like kind of.
Oh, do they? Are they good company?
Oh, they're great. They have great health benefits. They take care of everybody. Like you go in there and they have those masks on that like the army people have, like that those kind you can run in.
Yeah,
with the little. I was about to say spigots.
The Bane masks, yeah.
The Banes, the masks endorsed by Bane.
And it was good. I mean, I got that Kirkland salsa over here. It's good. It better be
Kirkland,
good.
Quality shit, for sure.
We've hidden in our artisanal foxholes for too long.
Yeah, you got to get out. How's your lady?
Oh, she's good. She's in the other room working her way through some Costco brand brie, I think.
Nice.
I don't know what she's doing in the other room.
Mine, you probably can't hear, but she's cackling at TikToks. Kara discovered TikTok a couple months ago, and it's once a week. She'll be like, just leave me alone. I'm just going to watch these for an hour.
Regular world news versus TikTok, and I think the world is more doomed because of TikTok than any like China versus India battling each other with baseball bats and nails type thing. Watching just some braless thought do the same dance, which is like, I'm not saying body positivity or anything, but like
I've never heard you use the term that over there. I've never heard you use the term thought. But look at you.
But it's like
absorbing the hip hop culture.
But I'm looking at it and I'm like, of course I'm looking at him like, yeah, there's boobs. There's more boobs. I'm like, oh, you're just mindlessly doing dances for this Chinese app that is just trying to collect information about the world to dominate the globe. That's all they're doing. And it's just like, what about this dance? Cool. You have boobs? Do this dance. You have boobs? Do this dance too.
You're on there though, right? Aren't you on there?
Oh, yeah. My management's like, you need a TikTok account. I'm like, do it. I'm not touching that shit.
Okay. What does your manager do with it?
They put clips up and they're like, just send us videos of your face doing nothing. And then they put stand-up clips, the audio on it. They just need a visual. So I do that. I just sit there and I send them 10 minutes of me drinking a beer and they chop it up and put stand-up clips behind it.
Utterly fantastic.
So I am the out of state CEO for a company that I do not know what is happening over.
Hey man, I mean, I am dabbling in the technologies too. Look at us, a couple of fucking grandpas just drinking, talking about the robot machines. I am on this app called Community where you apply and then they fucking like accept you or whatnot. And like Diddy and Paul McCartney and fucking Tom Segura is on there. And, people can just text you, but it doesn't go to you. It goes to this app. And I let people know about this show and people were like, I'm fucking psyched about the show tonight. And I was like, awesome. But the wild thing is, and I try to get back to people, but there's a lot of people that have signed up. So I'll just take like a couple hours every week and just like write people back, text them back. But like, I've had one or two people that are like, why are you sending me this shit about your show, man? I thought this is like me and you. I'm like, what? Like, I mean, I'll write you back about shit, but I don't know who you are, man. It's the wildest shit.
I've never even heard about that one. And not like in a old man yells at cloud type thing.
Sure.
But
that's what we're doing.
But I don't want to I love doing stand up and I love doing this with you and I love doing Boogie Monster with Dave.
Yeah.
And the things that I select to do and talk about my life. But I don't want to just make my whole life be a commodity.
No, and well, that's the thing. I check it like every couple of days, but I try to get back to people and stuff. But it's one of those things that I'm just saying on a positive note, like you're getting into something new. I'm getting into something new.
I'm not into it.
I'm all about these silver linings.
There's boobs on it.
I mean, thank God our president let people know what Juneteenth is. Oh my God. I mean, that was a perfectly dumb and racist statement that he said. Like it was, you could just,
I know.
You could boil down Trump just to that statement where he's like, I did a good thing. No one knew what Juneteenth was. And I told him, what? I don't know. No one? What? Black people are no one? And hey, by the way, happy Juneteenth to all our black viewers.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a couple out there. I think
Kyle.
I don't. Come on. What are we saying that anybody needs to hear?
Nothing, but just happy. So, it should be a national holiday. That's all.
I don't get angry. Getting angry at Trump is like stubbing your toe on something and then kicking it because you're mad you stubbed your toe on it.
I couldn't agree more. But that statement, was just like,
hey, this hurt. I'll show it. like I'm not gonna. Yeah. I've been saying like all I want. We talked about we talked about it last week. I just want Joe Biden to come in like a substitute teacher and just heads down and putting on a movie. Just don't do anything.
Don't fuck around. Okay.
Don't do anything. Just fill the void. Yeah. And let us all reset.
There was any old Portland heads watching this will know this guy, but there was a jazz musician when I was growing up named Tom Grant. All of our parents had his fucking cassette. He had a couple cassettes, what you'd call adult contemporary, smooth jazz. Tom Grant made smooth jazz, but Tom Grant was also a substitute teacher. And I knew kids he substitute taught in their class. They'd be like, hey, but that's not, and he would just cut them off and be like, this isn't even my job. I'm a jazz musician. And I heard that story and I fucking loved him so much. What substitute teacher says, this isn't even my job, man?
Dude, right now at 2 p.m. at Jefferson Middle School, it is your job. So get to the blackboard there, Saxy.
Would you just talk about the Industrial Revolution and not your second album?
Why don't you scat your way through conjugating some verbs there, buddy? Because this is your job.
This is why you need calculus.
Did you ever see, because your parents were teachers, right? Both of them?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did they ever lose it on a kid?
I mean, my dad's job was corralling the bad kids.
Yeah.
But he was like, like kind of a deeply Christian man who just like giving everyone their say. I've said this on the show, how like I knew people that were in and out of prison I saw in bars in Portland that were just like, your dad was always cool. Always dealt with me square, man. Got to respect that. My mom has way more of a temper. I don't even know. My mom, by the time I was of age, my mom was only teaching at Portland State. She's teaching college. So I'm sure she screamed at people, but they were adults. So it wouldn't have the gravity of like screaming at a 10-year-old or something.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Did you? Because I remember teachers like losing it and stuff, and but just being pissed at kids. But I was at DuPage, at College of DuPage, COD, Cod State, baby.
Is this part of Columbia in Chicago?
No, this was the community college in DuPage County that everybody who went was like, just make it a 4-year school. I've already been here for 6. Let me turn this associate's into a bachelor's, baby.
Come on.
That was the basement or garage bong rip conspiracy theory. Like they're gonna make it a 4-year school, so you should just stay there, dude.
Just hang out, man.
But I watched a guy who I later saw in a Chicago Tribune article about how difficult it was for part-time teachers because they're teaching at several different schools. And so like he would teach a class in the morning at College of DuPage, then drive to the city to teach another class at noon and like run it all over just to make ends meet as teachers, as part-time teachers in different areas. But I had to take I needed a math credit or something because I sucked at math in high school. So I had to take it in community college. And they had something that was it was a logic class, but it was under philosophy. I'm like, well, philosophy's cool. And I was like that kind of idiot that, started smoking pot at 18. Like, man, let's get into our minds, bro.
Yeah. What is life?
Yeah. Just pronouncing him like Descartes and shit in class, like just an asshole. But so I took this logic class and it was all
Steve-O Harvey.
It was, oh God. It was, was that a Steve-O Harvey joke?
No, didn't you remember?
What?
They say for Halloween, you're supposed to wear something bright and illuminating for safety. So I went as Descartes. Nothing? What's going to work for your people? Plato? Sorry. I hear Descartes. That's the joke, I think.
Chicago comedian Steve Harvey, but then there was Steve Harvey, the TV show host. So he put the O in his middle name, and then Steve-O came around, so he couldn't even go by Steve-O anymore. And now he's sadly dead. Yeah, now he's dead. Yeah, one of the jolliest fellas that has passed on. Steve-O Harvey. I'm about as Irish as Shaquille O'Neal. But so I watched this guy. He was like a philosophy teacher. So they gave him this logic class, but it was math. It was like if this, then that, therefore this kind of logic word problem stuff.
It's word problem.
It's all word problem. And it can be very confusing. And it's logic and it's math. It's not the philosophical like, oh, if I'm here, can it Schrodinger's cat bullshit, whatever. So this guy's trying to work through it in his part-time schedule, and we're all in there because we just need a math requirement. And he's doing something on the board, like very clearly explained, like all of us dipshits got it except for one girl. And she asked the most obvious question after him explaining a thing for 20 minutes. He just looks at her and he goes, duh, like said it to her. And then I come to class the next day And I'm walking down the hallway towards the classroom, and I just hear him go, "Why are you trying to ruin my life?" And I walk in, and that girl's walking out real proud of herself. And he's just like had thrown a book against the wall, tried to teach class because she just reported him to the dean of community college for embarrassing her, which now with the Karen memes going around, like I saw one in the budding stage at community college.
You saw a care.
I saw a care blossom.
She into a Karen.
I just hope that guy's all right. I thought he was cool.
I mean, everybody kind of snaps at one point or another.
But then reading that article, like, oh, this guy drives hundreds of miles a day just to teach people. Of course, he was like, fucking duh. Look at what I just said. I just said what you asked.
I mean, that's why, I mean, one reason I'm glad to be a stand-up comic, and not a teacher, because sometimes it's both bad crowds, but just, you can just be like, look at this idiot and his dumb face, and it's fine. You
never did a community college, huh?
I didn't. I just went to a liberal arts college, 4 years, done.
Man, community college. I still reminisce. Oh, I loved it. Loved it so much.
Yeah, I mean, it's it gets made fun of, but I haven't met anyone who's like, I hated it. It's just like, had its place.
Like, yeah, I didn't go to Europe when I didn't backpack Europe, but I did watch
community college wasn't in Europe?
I didn't know. I wasn't. No, I was in DuPage County, Illinois. So as much as, I didn't visit.
That would be amazing. If an American burnout was like, I went to community college in Switzerland.
I went abroad. What? I went to community college in Ecuador.
You did? Jesus. Well, how much of that? Well, it was like $30,000 a year. Jesus. Rusty, why?
There was one dude.
Let's look at these, let's call these donations. Swayze Meteor, my man, $25. Such a Spaz, $3. Right on. Maybe Steve-O, $25.
Maybe Steve-O.
Least worst, $13.
Kevin, least worst, yeah.
Jen Ever P, $25. These names are fantastic. Raygun Cereal,
Snip Ticker,
25. Sarah Nitnotch is a real name, right? Thank you, Sarah. $10. Albrechts, $100. Motherfucker.
Man, come on, dude. God. Thank you.
Holy hell. Thanks for fucking donating, everybody. This is really awesome. We're off to a super rad start. We haven't had our guest on yet.
Should we dive into it? We're just jamming. We're having fun.
Let's get this hot boy on. Let's get our sweet boy guy.
Hot boys.
Branum, everybody.
I'll be there. We started. Hey, girl.
Hello.
Hey, girl.
I already had Korean beer. Because I already had a Korean beer, I have 2 points to make. One, when Braunger brought up doing too easy crowd work, I got misty. Like, I got misty about when there's that thing in the audience that, like, I can do no work and they're going to think I'm a god. And I feel terrible about that. Second point, community college. My niece is 17 years old, 18 years old now. And she had great grades in high school, great SATs. And she had to explain to me, the pushiest, snootiest asshole about education on the planet, that she was not yet ready to go away from home. And she wanted to go to community college. And I fucking tore into that bitch so hard. And she has flourished in community college in a way that is like unimaginable. Mm-hmm. Like, she has truly grown from it and loves it. And if she had gone off to 4-year school, it would have been rough and hard on her, and then they would have sent her back and she would have been on the same goddamn Zoom classes that she's on now. And I am so pleased to have been reproached. I'm sorry that I rambled, but I'm drinking.
Oh,
you're not. You came in hot, and I love it.
That was a great story.
I would like to also defend community college in the sense that think of what an idiot you are senior year of high school.
Mm-hmm.
And then, hey, you know how you don't know anything? Are you ready for 5 figures of debt minimum?
Right.
Well, also, it is just a game of class prerogatives to behave as though those idiot seniors are allowed to go off and like play with big ideas and be human beings themselves because their parents can afford to bail them out of college when they need to, as opposed to the people who are assistant managing a Jack in the Box while learning about who Descartes is.
Yeah.
I hated so much in comedy when like DeVry or a technical school is used as a punchline. I'm like, who fixes your car?
Yeah.
Who built your house?
Anybody
who put the AC system in?
Learning an actual trade, but not someone learning about creative writing or whatever. Yeah. Like, I don't know. Yeah.
I pissed it away. I spent a lot of money.
Braunger, I love the color of your room so much. It lets us never forget what an adorable part of Los Feliz you live in.
This is going to be my kid's room. She's due in 2 months. So we painted it this light Kermit-ish green.
I love that straight people can make a baby accidentally. I don't know how much you try.
Like it. I don't like it.
I feel like, but no one would ever do it. If you had to believe in yourself enough to raise a child, to have a child, no one would do it. And like all Braunger and Kara had to do was be like, well, let's take off the restraints. Maybe you had to do more than that. I don't know. But just as somebody who would have to like get a lawyer and rent a human being for a couple of months.
Yes.
I'm like, I would never do that.
Guy, what is the alcohol level on that Korean beer?
Yeah, what is that?
We talked to you 25 minutes ago.
I've been going fast. I took down a very large Korean beer, and also now I'm on rosé. Like,
yeah, no, like I was just joking with Kara about the Michael Scott line from The Office, where he's like trying to figure out how he's like, I've decided I'm going to adopt a Chinese baby, and then Pam is like, well, it'll take you probably at least 3 years, and he went, ugh, I don't even know if I want a kid in 3 years.
Yeah,
it's just the whole dumb act of fucking. Now you're pregnant, and then dealing with that. But to go through the legal, if you're a gay male, and just figuring out like, okay, do we want one? What are the stages? Who's the person?
My favorite thing, I love hanging out with a pregnant lady like a week before she's going to have that baby. Because it's like, oh, you're never going to be people again. Like, you're going to have to, like, you're just, like 20 years later, you'll be able to release it to the wild. But also, you'll still have to worry. Like, that's such an investment.
I could have a little bit of Coke right now. I mean, the kid's pretty much done.
That's our joke. I mean, it's fucking baked. You can have a glass of wine.
But, I mean,
the ingredients just fall off the top now. They don't go into the dough.
Like it is adorable that you guys can just make it at home. The ability to like even like I don't have a basil plant. Like the notion, like I'm impressed by people who like manage a dog.
Start with rosemary. It's an easier bush.
My therapist said the craziest fucking thing. He's like, look, I have 2 kids.
That's a reversal of roles.
I know you're hey.
Come on. What?
Like I got 2 kids, and the thing keep in mind, this is gonna sound really fucked up, his words, but it's really hard to kill a baby. I was like, holy shit, Alan. Jesus.
I don't think it is.
I mean, yeah, if you're trying, it's not, you fucking psycho.
I don't know if
you understand what I'm talking about.
One of my first jobs, one of my only legal jobs, was to basically keep track of how much a dead baby was worth in California. Like the first legal job I had in California was just to keep track of people who had killed children and then how much you got for the various ages of children.
How much who got?
Like the parents, like somebody, let's say somebody backs over a 6-month-old and somebody backs over a 6-year-old and somebody backs over a 17-year-old. You get different amounts of money.
Jake, can we get the infographic up?
Do that, Jake. Can you make that real fast? No, please don't make that. I don't want
It's a truly horrible job. But with babies, it's important to remember, like, dumb, terrible people have done this for all of time. My parents did not finish community college, and they managed to get 2 human beings to not be dead.
My dad is 6'6", and he accidentally slammed my head when I was a toddler in the hatchback of the Pinto that my dad owned. he put all the luggage in. We were going on a family trip, and he's like, "All right, good to go." And then just caught my head in it, and I went down, and it's still the funniest shit to me in the world. But it was only, I'm 45. It was only maybe 10 years ago that I could bring it up and laugh, that he'd like even chuckle for years. And
you're a deeply Christian school principal.
That was yeah.
I've joked about it before. My dad would just feed me a bunch of baby carrots because it would turn my skin orange, and he thought that was cool. And then he told the doctor, thinking like, "Yeah, give him all these carrots, and it turns his skin orange." And the doctor's like, "You're poisoning him." I thought he was just going to feed me other colored food to see if it would change me that color. That was his own little Easter egg.
Oh my God.
So we have a lot of all of the talk of various vegetables fits right in with this Patreon question from Casey. What crop would you farm?
Thanks for Jake. You still didn't tell us how much a 6-year-old would be worth if you backed over him with a graphic.
According to the internet, depends on who they were killed by and what kind of, yeah.
And Jake, because you Googled that, by the way, the cops are on the way. So if you could just tie up whatever ends you have.
What crop?
I just want to say 6-year-old is like one of the most expensive children to kill.
Jesus.
Like, you want to kill a 15-year-old.
Tell me about it.
Do I?
43. Still get scared when I see a group of them at the mall. Oh, so I guess my shoes haven't been made fun of in a while. Here we go.
I'm fascinated to learn the answer to this question from both of you.
Well, I think you got to take the bullet on this, guy, because you are from a farm.
I am from a farm. You know, I'd fucking go Northern California. And I was raised on an almond farm. Like, my town is very much known for prunes. I have in past thought about having like almond and walnut land where I raised pigs on the almond and walnut land and was like, look at how fancy my pigs are. They've only eaten almonds and walnuts. Oh. I have thought about raising walnuts, but only to make nocino. Like, my third act of Guy Branum's life is just going up to Northern California and making a bougie faggot liqueur of some sort. Kyle, do you guys know that I make my own walnut liqueur? Would you guys like bottles of my walnut liqueur?
If I start working out now,
it's like super gay quality amaretto. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, it's nocino. It's yes.
Yes, I want some.
Okay, I will.
I just want to be a shirtless farmhand.
But my contemplation is either the nuts making the perfect pork or goat dairy.
Jesus Christ.
That is wow. I was just going to say onions.
That was
more well thought out. I just eat a lot of onions. So I would like to have onions on hand.
I mean, Kyle, you're in California. Fucking Ohio can grow onions. Like, the world's your oyster here.
Yeah.
I love onions on my oyster.
All right, that's fair.
And you can get them here on the West Coast.
I go between wanting to totally just be a part of Guy's world and say whatever I can to upset him the most.
Kyle, I feel like I was mean to you upstairs at the Chinese restaurant one too many times. And our relationship will never be healthy.
It sounds like such strange code.
Yeah. Oh.
Braunger, what would you farm?
I think I would go with apples. I would go with cider quality apples and make my own cider, like boozy cider.
If you had gone with something that wasn't classically Pacific Northwest, I would have attacked you.
I would have deserved it. I understand. Yeah, absolutely. But I would imagine they're relatively simple. I think what you're talking about, like nut farming. That's a ton of water. That's really hard. Anything
on a tree, you just wait. I mean, apples, you have to be scared about things eating your apples.
That's true.
Fucking nuts are fine.
Apples are on a tree.
Yes, but they're nice and soft and little animals want to eat them. Where nuts, it's harder to eat them.
True.
Do you legit make liqueur right at your house right now?
Do you want me to go into the other room and get a bottle of the nocino?
Please.
Does it have a fun label?
No, I made it myself. That's my ass.
There he goes. Gay kingpin. Oh my God. I love that he makes the fucking.
You.
So when the walnuts are green, they're like a green fruit, and you cut them open and you steep them in grain alcohol with like some sugar and some vanilla and some nutmeg and things. And then I need to get the rosé out of there. I have beautiful bottles that have been aging for months in my little shed. You guys will give me your addresses and I will leave them outside of your houses because we can't talk to people.
I will drive to your address and just walk up to the walk and take. You don't have to deliver it.
And no, I will bring it to you, and it tastes like perfection.
Guy, do you like cold brew coffee?
Yes.
I make that. That.
Really?
So I'll trade you a bottle. It literally looks just like your bottle.
That would be truly lovely.
Yes, I will swap it.
How do you make cold brew coffee? I don't make anything, and now I'm jealous. I want to know. I got no craft.
It's the easiest thing in the world. Basically, soak grounds for 18 hours and you drain them. The end.
I'll take cucumbers and put it, like if I finish a jar of pickles, I'll keep the jar and I'll just put cucumbers in it and I have new pickles in a while.
Sure.
That's nice.
Milder pickles.
It's not a real thing.
My grandmother loves a fucking new pickle. Like a new pickle is very delicious.
This has been the most quotable episode of all time. My grandmother loves a new pickle.
I mean,
well, ladies ain't going to Vegas just for the slot machines. You know what I'm saying?
Let's do our Ooh Girls. Yeah, should we do that, Jake?
Okay. Got something to get excited about?
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys have one, or am I jumping the gun?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's go with you first, Kyle.
Well, I kind of talked about it a little bit, but I think suburban living and like hitting up a Costco, I was overwhelmed there for the first couple times because I had no guidance and I didn't know what I was getting into. But now that we're all in a more of a survival mode and our artisanal whimsy has gone by the wayside, it's good. All right. Mm-hmm. And kicking it back in the burbs, man. Birds chirping, squirrels. I got leaf blowers because maybe one guy owns a leaf blower and he uses it once a week. It's
nice. What is your sweet substance at a Costco? Like, what are you just like, oh, yes, it is here.
Oh.
Well, my sister told me about something called bitchin' sauce.
Mm-hmm.
Bitchin' sauce is awesome.
She told me about it. And rarely am I getting introduced to a new sauce at this day and age.
It's nut based.
It was like an almond. It's like an almond hummus.
It's all vegan.
Sort of like chipotle spice that I got.
They have a couple, the jalapeno one too, but I think chipotle is the best.
Guy, are you unfamiliar?
I'm unfamiliar. It a little bit reminds me of the yum sauce at that weird place in Portland. Is it like that?
Similar-ish. It's got the consistency of hummus, but it's just unbelievably rich.
Oh, I'm interested. I would like to learn more.
It's called bitchin' sauce. Like they're not dancing around.
I wouldn't get it at Costco because I'd be afraid I'd eat it too fast and just get like.
I tried the other night, and there's so much of it. It's really.
What do you put it on?
However many fingers you want to fit in a jar, man. It's that kind of sauce. But I think just enjoying a little slower pace. I think that's my Ooh Girl is just kind of kicking it. We went on a little nature walk today. We got a mod pizza and I think we got a Jimmy John's or something. I can't keep up with what corporate ownership is evil anymore. I'm trying my best. I've avoided Amazon for the last few months, save for like one or two things I couldn't get anywhere else. But I've tried to avoid Amazon, and then I'm trying to avoid stuff that's made in China, not in a rah-rah America way, but in like a China's like a not a good place. Hey, you hear me? Zoom. If it gets shut off right now, we know they're listening. But is Zoom no, that's TikTok is the Chinese app. I said that all right. But so I don't know where I was going. I'm day drinking, I guess. Maybe that's my Ooh Girl, just sitting in a yard on a gravity, not anti-gravity. I don't know, some kind of reclining lawn chair that's back there. It's great. It's good stuff.
There you go. Guy, what about you?
Okay. Guys, YouTube is my ooh girl. Like just experiencing, and I realize we all use YouTube for what we do, but like the stuff made for YouTube, the stuff is fancy as, I don't know if you guys were aware of the Bon Appetit Test Kitchen and the shit that went down this week.
Yes.
But like put on, it's like a gentle workplace comedy, and also you learn how to make English muffins. And I know that they've had trouble, but it's amazing. I've been watching this show called Life Where I Am From, which is just like a 38-year-old guy in Japan with he's Canadian, his wife is Japanese, and he just makes his children explain what life is like in Japan to you. And it's like exactly the kind of gentle TLC programming that you want. Yes. But like the beauty of it's made by a single person, and so that single person can keep making it. And most recently, my YouTubing has extended to cooking shows by ladies who don't speak the language that I speak. Like I watched a lady make clayudas, and I couldn't speak the language, and I'm trying to figure out how a clayuda works. Watched a couple of things that were in Hindi, and it's like I got the idea, but also I'm on a journey. Wow. I probably shouldn't have mixed beer and wine and an extremely sweet nut liqueur.
I don't think.
No, fuck that. That was a fantastic idea.
Guy, are you single right now?
Yes.
That's breaking my heart, man. You don't tell me you're sitting there trying to make Indian food in a foreign language, and then you don't have anybody to share that with.
We're getting him out. We're getting him out there, Kyle.
I had a rough 3-year relationship that ended in September. Okay. And just at the time when I was ready to be a human being again, we got ourselves a plague.
All right.
Braunger, what's your ooh girl? Sorry I'm hosting your show, but you guys know me.
Oh, fucking take it. Take this shit.
Let me lay down in my bed.
There you go. Lay down on the ground, Kyle. Take a knee.
Taking a knee.
My ooh girl, I think is neighborhood meetups where and distanced, gang and stuff, like hanging out with people, and just like I live in a cul-de-sac, and we have this thing where this was adorable. My white female neighbor across the way, amazing woman, texted 7 of us, "Happy Juneteenth." We're all white. Let's meet up out thing. And if anyone looked at that, she just wants to have a glass of wine with all of us in like an hour and a half. But it just sounds like a white supremacy meetup if you look at it. But God bless her. I mean, she's a civil liberties lawyer. So, and by the way, we are raising money for the NAACP Legal Defense Fund, guys, cause of choice. So that's fucking awesome.
There's a lot of cool stuff that people are talking about that is new and exciting, but let me tell you about the NAACP Legal Defense and Education Fund. They fucking desegregated schools, and they've been doing good work since the 1920s. Like, always go with, you can opt for the new thing, but go with the fucking classic sometimes. A lot of people are like, oh, Minnesota Bail Fund. They've only put out $200,000 in bail. It's complex work. You want to know who knows how to manage the money? The NAACP Legal Defense and Education Fund. Sorry.
Right on. Well, very good. Well, are you ready to invade someone's home with us?
Yes.
Let's bring on our first special guest, Lindsay Welch, who is an amazing donor to the show and all the causes. Lindsay Welch, everybody.
The always fun transition into the guest.
It's never awkward. Hey, girl.
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing all right.
You've been a wildly generous donor in the past. Thank you so much.
Well, you guys are very generous and have brought a lot of light to my life. So thank you for bringing it more and spreading the love.
Oh,
what is that strange? Is that a gold martini glass?
Oh yeah, it's like a chrome martini glass.
God bless.
Lindsay, your hair volume is stunning. I know that at earlier points in your life it bothered you, but it is fucking stunning.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. It's that San Francisco fog rolling in.
Oh, yeah. Where do you live?
It's fantastic to finally have a gay man on here, someone who knows how to talk to a woman. Like, Jesus Christ.
Where do you live?
Well, I live in the Haight-Ashbury.
You're in the Haight-Ashbury?
I am.
Yeah. Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a nice little neighborhood. Somewhat historic.
Yeah.
Are people going out there yet? Are they out in the world?
A little bit, yeah. So some street dining has opened up. My favorite bar is reopened, and you can get takeaway martinis if you buy a sandwich. And it's got a little bit of a New Orleans vibe right now because the rules are kind of out the window, which it's nice.
That's what's strange here. There's like a McMenamins. So I chopped you off there, Braunger.
No, I was say I love the outdoor drinking culture of San Francisco. You know, like just that park in the Mission where everyone's just sitting around across the lawn with tall boys.
Dolores Park.
Thank you. Yes. Now is your favorite bar? Is it Zim Zam? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's Zam Zam. Yeah.
Zam Zam. Shit.
Yeah. Yeah. They're a little surly in there, and they still only take cash.
Yes.
A surly only cash bar in San Francisco.
Hold on.
They take bicycle messenger culture very seriously, and they're all poets. And
no, Kyle. It's that place. The original owner. He's now deceased, but he used to. If someone came in and ordered anything other than a martini, he would kick you out. Like he was an old man.
What time? Like when did we just start accepting assholes as culture of a city? Like, actually, this place is actually horrible.
When they owned the bar, it was more.
Yeah. But also, it's a perfect bridge between only care about bicycle messenger culture and like true tech bro, you have to know the right thing and be able to pay the right money. It's just like different flavors of assholery flowing into each other perfectly.
I'm partial to the old school asshole. I don't.
Me too.
I don't like the date rapey tech bro. Sorry, I like the guy who punched me in the mouth for ordering a Bud Light. That's kind of my guy. I think if I got
I like it.
Go ahead, Lindsay. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Good. A rapscallion with a heart of gold.
That's it.
Believing that they have a heart of gold is the reason for 80% of the pain that women have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, bike messengers are still scumbags a lot of the times too. I don't know if
those calves.
Oh, the throat tattoo. That guy must have a sensitive side. No, he just arms raced his way into the worst decision of all his tattoo friends. I got part way there.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. I can't wait till the Rose Gold's down the street is the tattoo shop, and I'm dying for it to open because I just really want a bad tattoo.
You know what? That's the thing about bad tattoos. You can give yourself one right now. That's a pentagram that I did myself. You can just do this to yourself whenever you want. That's the beauty.
How many sticky coronaviruses are we going to get?
Let's go round robin. Let's all pick a bad tattoo. Kyle already said his. Guy, what's yours?
Oh, I mean, my standard is always just like a series of numbers on my forearm as though I had been in a concentration camp.
Fucking guy. No. But no, yours should just be like the lyrics to like a Robin song. Too much?
I hate Robin. No,
I knew that.
Okay, no.
Braunger. Bitch, please?
It's the Roman numerals 9481 for Beyonce's birthday.
Oh, that's
along my shoulder, Roman numerals.
Lindsay, what's yours? What's your bad?
Oh, gotta go possum. Possum tattoo.
Where?
Why a possum?
On my rib cage.
Okay.
You have it now, or you want to get it?
Oh, that's coming. Yeah, that's gonna be my next one.
I thought you said pasta, like a pile of mustacholi or something.
Yeah, that could be. I could see that, but no, possum. It's gonna say live fast, eat trash.
Fucking possum.
Nice.
I got an issue with possums. I hate them.
Yeah,
I like that. Live that fast.
Yeah, it's the family crest.
That's great.
I Man, you get enough of them, and then all of a sudden the next one's like the first tattoo you get needs to mean so much.
Oh yeah.
And then the second one, you're like, oh, maybe I can branch off into something that's meaningful, but maybe it's like more artistic than it's meaningful. And after 3 or 4, you're like, I don't know, it was like pretty hilarious that afternoon. And that's what most of them.
What if I kept going? Yeah, well, mine is, I'm just remembering this one I wanted to get 10 years ago that was Walter Payton, from Walter Payton's verse, Super Bowl Shuffle.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to get, well, my name is Sweetness and I like to dance. When they get like that. I just think it's such a perfect.
You can still get that. You can still get that.
I can. Either that or, and it's you got to have the periods. So it'd be smooth operator, period. Smooth, period. Operator, period.
I would love that so much. I also just love the idea that whatever this is, your child just understands as part of your body. And at some later point in time, understands culture related to it and is like, Dad.
Oh, yeah.
I went, my wife, I got this, we both got butt tattoos and I have a really embarrassing one. And my wife and I were swimming and she was like, show them. And my friend has a little girl and she didn't see it. But my friend was like, so what are you gonna do when you have a kid with that F word on your butt? And so I now I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna find out in about 2 months. So
if you're in the position where you're already showing your kid your bare ass, you have other things to explain.
I mean, babies shit themselves. You got to throw them in the shower sometimes. You got to get in there with them so they don't die.
If your back is turned to your baby in the shower, you're probably doing a bad job as a parent.
That's a solid
being
point.
said as someone with no children. But I think if your
point.
baby is in a body of water and your back is turned, that's bad parenting. I am no role model.
I can't turn around and knit or anything. I don't know.
I can't knit in the shower. That's going to collect white. Actually, maybe it's easier. You know, you knit it real tight when the yarn is wet, and then when it dries, it expands.
That's a good idea. Lindsay, what's been on your mind lately? What's been happening?
I mean,
tell us a secret. Nobody's listening.
Go ahead. Throw it off.
I'm with Kyle. It's about finding that balance. I took Friday today off and I took Monday off and just needed to kind of tune out a little bit because it's heavy, and then doing your work and then your like activism work and just trying to stay up to date with all the news.
How real is your job during COVID? What do you do? How real is it?
I'm in ad sales. So I work for a publisher and sell advertising. So I'm on calls all the time and like prospecting, and there's a lot expected, but I'm working from home, which is nice. And I have my dog, so it's not too bad.
That's great. Do you have a somebody, Lindsay?
No. Nope.
Guess what, Zim Zam? Lindsay's single. Next time you see her in there. All you Bay Area hoodlums.
All you dirtbags.
All you scumbags that can still afford to live in San Francisco.
Barely. It's, you know what? The rent here is going to go down. It's, there's a lot of places for rent. So it might turn back into a little bit of a different type of dynamic here.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. Might get a little old San Francisco back.
I started stand-up in San Francisco, and it was a place where like artists could live in like shitty apartments and stuff. And now it's just so fucking shiny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did Punchline get to stay?
Yeah,
it did. Yeah.
In the location that it got, in the same location?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm still there. Thank God.
Yeah.
Cobb's, as much as I don't like Cobb's, as much as I like Punchline as a comedy room, I like it. Still feels like an old timey spot.
Yeah, I don't want it to go away.
Yeah.
No, my old office actually used to look out onto the Punchline, and it was during the time that we weren't sure if it was going to stay or go. But I'm really happy it's going to stay.
Yeah,
it's such an institution.
Yeah.
If somebody could just make an app that tells you what buildings are going to retain their historic area, that'd be pretty great. If there was somebody around that could just,
it would get so exploited.
Isn't there anybody to make an app that preserves our city that's built on that is being wrecked by the app creators?
Oh, so since Lindsay's here and she's such an amazing donor, let's go through like Lindsay Welch. That is a solid handle, and that is your real name. That's an awesome name. But I'm going to
not very creative.
No, I have a terrible name, so I'm jealous. But like Guy Branum or Guy Braune, as I call him in the
Brizzies
in the Francois, and also of course Carl Canale. But as Brido calls you, I love how he calls you Carl Canale and John
Carol
Cremains. Amazing. I'm going to go through our newest donors. Zed's dead grandma, $10. Joe Coin, $25. Slacker Joe, $25. Mo Lady, is that right? How you say Mo? MEAUX, Guy?
Sure.
Thank you. $10. Annie Harrington, that's a real name. Thank you, Annie. $10. Jeevesy for $25. Zed's dead grandma, back again, another $10. Had to come back. No Coin again, $25. Slacker Joe again, 25.
Matt, no, these people just donated once. It's just I wanted to make sure you saw it.
Okay, well let's go to Bob. Such a spaz with $5 and Paul Hobson with $25. Thank you guys so much.
Can we do a bookshelf battle? I want to see Lindsay and Guy, since they both have bookshelves behind them, to pick their favorite books that they have. Oh,
yeah, on the
Guy,
spot.
do you have multiple bookshelves in there?
Grab one you love.
Oh boy, yeah, this is going to be a showdown. Lindsay, you said you do activism work?
Yeah, well, I've been really trying and writing letters and donating as much as I can and showing up.
Awesome. Being a good person. Up against Guy, who has a legal background.
Yeah.
Right. I have prepared my argument.
Okay. Lindsay, do you have your choice?
Guy, you were a legit lawyer or studied to be a lawyer? And then
yes, I went to law school. I took the bar, but I never practiced after having passed the bar.
There's nothing more threatening to me as just like a dipshit that entered comedy. Like when you're everybody else like, I'm the funniest guy in my life, but when like a lawyer becomes a comedian, that's the
yeah.
You know how to argue both sides, so you know how to write comedy as much as you know how to argue the law, and it's such an.
Or does it mean he just politically grandstands on Twitter when he should be writing jokes? Who can say?
It could be both. It could be both.
Who the fuck isn't? Okay, let's go through the books. Let's do Guy, since you're chomping at the bit, it seems. Sure. You go with your book first.
I'd like to offer. I have 3 offerings. Are you ready for it?
Oh boy.
I have a copy of Lies Chelsea Handler Told Me, where there is a story about me that took place before I left Chelsea Lately, but the book was published after. So they did a search and replace of my name with Fortune Femster's name, but also missed a couple of them.
Oh, fuck me.
I have a copy of Wendy Wasserstein's book where she tried to be funny like Nora Ephron, but can't be funny like Nora Ephron. That one's for me. And then just a whole section. This is just a small portion, but a section of biographies on Canadian prime ministers. Like I have maybe 10 or 12 of them. Your game, Welch.
It's a tough act to follow. I just moved into this apartment, and I had a friend who does a little bit of like history detective work on different buildings to preserve the historical aspects of the buildings in the Bay Area, and found out that Arthur Evans lived in my apartment and actually passed away here, and he wrote Witchcraft and the Gay Counterculture. So
oh shit!
There's a lot of fun stuff going on in this apartment, and I hope it's going to be a good omen.
Yeah, I did not know that a boss move was just going to be pulled with your first selection.
That right hook coming. Awesome. I did not see that right hook coming.
Tell me this man's name.
His name is Arthur Evans, and it's called Witchcraft and the Gay Counterculture, and it's all about how I haven't started to read it yet, but it goes kind of through gay counterculture and the Wiccan Wiccan movement. So it's he hosted a lot of events in this apartment apparently. So
Really?
I'm hoping there's some fun ghosts here.
Ooh.
I am fucking floored. I have to go on a deep dive about this man. And also died in 2011. And like, to me, there's nothing more hardcore than like, I was a functional, active gay man, 1982 to 1994. And survived.
Exactly.
Those two
exactly
have all the Vietnam you like. I want to hear their war stories.
You can have all the Vietnam you like.
Well, and it's just like I see him going into like a certain club and seeing someone that he's just like, he feels it and just throws a cloak around himself and just a cloud of smoke and he's gone. It's just like dangerous here.
Yep.
I mean, that's wild. Like Dana Gould and all these other comics, they had that the comedy condo that they lived in San Francisco. Like tons of people went, and they were down the street from Anton LaVey and the Church of
I did not know that.
Satan.
Oh, really?
It was a house painted black. And Dana would see him at the laundromat, Anton LaVey, the head of the Satanic Church. And we would joke that, like, God, you made the wrong deal with the devil. But I like
the laundromat, like
witchcraft. I love that term.
I would think like Satanist laundry is easy. It's all black. Like you're not trying to separate anything. It's like just fucking dump it in and go, you know.
But you got to have a familiar to do it, you know, or something. I don't know. You shouldn't do your own laundry.
I like knowing about like the regular chores of people that you put some like and somewhere else. Yeah, Anton LaVey is but yeah, they still got laundry. Like you still like
they still gotta live. They gotta work.
Like the gay witch of your apartment was still at Ike's Sandwiches. Like, give me the number 30. You know, like they still he's got to eat food. You know, that's
tossed out of Zam Zam,
pushing his own cart around Ralph's. Like that makes me happy. That puts us all. That's my buddy Dom, when he first moved to San Francisco, he's like just getting into riffraff, and when some guy who was he was like partying at some big mansion, and then it turned out that the guy who was throwing the party was just actually the butler for the old man that lived in the house, and the guy that owned the house, he wrote the Rice-A-Roni jingle, and so that. And he's like, yeah, it was crazy because then the old man woke up and in the house, he's like, everybody get out. And he's like, my buddy, he's like jumping a fence. He's like, I'm running away because the guy who wrote the Rice-A-Roni jingle called the cops on me. I'm like, you got to have at least 2 or 3 of those stories in your satchel by the time you pass on, you know?
Oh my God. I think we all will. We got to jump. We got to cut the show. We're at the 6 because we're about to jump to our Patreon and answer some questions. Lindsay, thank you so much for coming on, and thank you for giving so much.
Of course. Thank you. Thank you for having me. It was such a pleasure.
Thank you for teaching me about Arthur Evans. I'm very excited to learn more.
Guy, you came at so hard, and
I know.
I was
like, I did not. None of us saw that coming. It was just like, maybe this spell that will paralyze you.
Yeah, Lindsay, you won this one. We don't have winners on the episodes, but you won this episode.
You won this one.
So, save that.
But thank you for coming on. Thanks everybody for giving, and thanks for joining us.